The baby, simply hungry, cried a little. But then, he witnessed a side of his mother that no one else knew. She started yelling at him, furiously gripping and hitting the steering wheel. Her rage made the baby feel scared and unsettled. True to his fears, the moment they got home, she threw him heavily onto the sofa. Thankfully, his father seemed gentler, comforting the baby while preparing to feed him. But as he opened the food, he noticed it had expired from months ago. The mother brushed it off, saying, "Just feed him, it won't kill him." The father agreed, reasoning that a baby couldn't tell the difference. Yet, the baby resisted, making a mess. Losing patience, the father dropped his gentle act, revealing his true nature. It became clear that neither parent had the child's best interests at heart. Just as the baby was on the brink of further mistreatment, the doorbell rang. The police had arrived, throwing the parents into a panic. The father quickly wiped the baby's mouth, while the mother sprayed air freshener to cover the lingering smell of smoke. Opening the door, they learned that the police had received an anonymous report of child abuse and had brought an expert to assess the baby's well-being. The specialist requested a full examination of the baby, causing the couple to break out in a cold sweat. Sensing trouble, the father pulled out a business card, claiming to work for a children's welfare organization and asserting that he would never harm his own child. The police officer then noticed a family portrait hanging on the wall and, taking it as proof of a happy family, apologized and prepared to leave. Desperate, the baby let out a loud cry, hoping to draw attention. But the oblivious police officer only commented on how strong and healthy the baby sounded. Once the police left, the baby's fate was sealed. The mother, enraged, lifted him over her head and threw him to the floor, then cruelly smothered him. When the protagonist awakened again at the gates of hell, he couldn't understand why parents like that existed. Death mocked him, saying he took everything for granted just as he had thrown away his own life without appreciating it. Meanwhile, the baby had no choice at all. Realizing he was in the wrong, the protagonist pleaded for a scenario he could survive. But death coldly informed him that each death would only become more painful. With a gunshot, the protagonist reincarnated once again, only this time, he found himself in a nightmare. His head was covered, and terrifying sounds of knives sharpening and electrical buzzing filled his ears.